speak about the herb yielding seed and the fruit yielding seed, and I want to break it down. The herb yielding seed the land has to be conducive and cultivated. It has to be cared for. You have to keep out things from eating pests and these things, right? But the herb yielding seed and the fruit yielding tree also have the same start, as all children have the same start in this world. And I talk about how the sperm and the egg, and a lot of men and a lot of women believe that they are the true progenitors of creation, because if he can put the sperm in her, she's going to get pregnant. And if she is fertile, she's going to get pregnant. But there are a lot of fertile men and there are a lot of fertile women in this world that are sitting there struggling, trying to have a baby. And they have no health issues. And they are struggling trying to have a baby, because ultimately creation coming into being, gestating in the womb for a whole 9 months, and sometimes not even 9. You're lucky. You're lucky. It's a child. Every child is a miracle. Every child is a miracle. And let me talk about the process here. Sperm can go into the womb and it can go to the ovary, but unless the ovary has a electric connection with the sperm, nothing will, and the sperm is accepted into the ovary, nothing can come of it. Nothing can come of it. So ultimately, she's not the progenitor of the electricity within her womb. She can't make her shit spark. And he can't make it spark. And I'm not talking about the orgasm. Therefore, if you can't make the electricity, and if you have the electricity but you can't make it target, and he has the sperm but he can't make it light up on your ovary, in essence, you or her don't have the control of the power of the spirit that inhabits that electricity to accept that child into being. It is just like going outside and starting off and you cultivating your land and you know the seasons and you know the ways and you plant a seed. It is not guaranteed that there will bear forth a crop. It is not guaranteed that you will have a crop. It's not even guaranteed that you will have a full crop. So why do we think that we are the ultimate controllers and the ultimate people? Why do we have this mind that we can control life, when ultimately the design is here to come and control yourself? Now I'm gonna expand on why the fruit yielding tree will be more conducive than the herb yielding seed. The herb yielding seed will have its seasons just as the same as the fruit bearing tree. But the herb yielding seed, when it comes into full crop, must be cropped. The herb yielding seed as well as the fruit tree will provide abundance unto all life. But the fruit yielding tree will have more nutrition value than the herb yielding tree. We know that if you take an orange and you boil its peel, you get a different nutrition value. We know that if you eat of its meat, that you get hydration properties and a different nutrition value within the orange. We know that if you boil its seeds, you get a different nutrition value. We also know that if you eat its seeds, you get a different nutrition value. We also know that fruit tree will continuously be there forever unless somebody cut it down. We also know that it can be eaten upon once it is full. It can be eaten upon by any life form, but it can never be destroyed, and it shall cultivate again that same fruit in the same season. It need no maintenance. That is why that is superior to the herb yielding seed, because it need no maintenance. There will be people in this world that will have more contributions to society. And there will be people in this world that will have to be took care of within our society. The herb yielding tree, no matter what season, you got to get out there and spray them pesticides, of whether it's neem oil or actual pesticide. You got to get out there and make sure them rabbits and whatever won't come up in there and eat it. You got to get out there, and you got to, every now after the season has gone and you have cropped it, you got to turn that soil up. You got to make a compost pile to keep that soil fertile. You got to have fertilizer to make sure that it's got the right acidity level to produce next year, and that's not even a given. I'm going to speak on the sickly. There are men in this world with cancer dying. There are women in this world with cancer dying. Do we call that man any less of a man because he is not of the right stature? Do we call that man any less of the man because he is so meek and humble and docile? No. But we do recognize that he is sickly. Do we call that woman any less than a woman because she's hitting the gym? She's doing all these working out. She's doing all this stuff to try to rid her body. And she's getting plump and muscular and fit and eating all these different types of food because she's trying to live because she has cancer? No, but we do recognize that she is sickly. It is the same with those who do not have sickness. Do we call that man that doesn't have the body frame of what you consider a strong, burly man? Do we call him any less of a man when he's good to his wife and when he's good to his children and when he honors and upholds himself and keeps his integrity? No, we do not call him any less than a man, even though he might, let's just say, not have the right hip capacity. Might not have the right glutes, the right muscles. Might even look like a girl. Be pretty in the face, round and supple in the lips and face, but he's a man. He's a male. Do we not call that woman that is a bodybuilder any less than a woman if she is upright to her man and to her children? Do we call her that? Do we call her any less than a woman? Are we supposed to call her any less? Are we supposed to call them any less when they live an righteous, integrity-filled, moral, ethic life? No. But why do we then, if you can agree with me that it is wrong to call them anything outside of their gender, then why do you feel the need to look at a child and call him or her a faggot, a tomboy? Understand me now. There are men out here that like fashion, nails, cosmetics. Are they any less than a man because of what they are interested in the material, tangible world? Are they any less of a man because of what they don't do sexually? There are gay men in this world that are very honorable men. So what you poke, what you have sex with, does not say or speak on your adulthood as a man or as a woman. What says and speak on your adulthood is your self-control and what you are contributing outside of yourself. That is what makes a man or a woman a woman. I speak of this because if you have to be cared for, you're the herb yielding seed. But you are still a herb. You still contribute to healing the sick. In some way, shape, or form. Whether it can be sick in the spirit, mind, body, you still have a contribution. You still feed the people. You still provide food to life and livestock. And if you are healthy, if you are healthy, you can still be an herb yielding seed. Nobody has to demand of you to do more than what you have, what your purpose is. Nobody has to demand of you than what your purpose is. The only thing that creation ever said was that those who are acting in more than one purpose will be held in higher regard. They will be held in higher regard. Of course, get up. Do what you love to do, your 9 to 5. If your 9 to 5 is just going out there and stamping some paperwork, thank you for your contribution. Somebody's going to do it. But if your 9 to 5 is to get up and speak a prophecy over the people that's of beauty, and then with your spirit, your 9 to 5, you are nurturing in the spirit. Then you take your mind and you go out here and you observe and you learn. Then you take your being, your physical being, your mouth, your sexuality, your ways, and you provide a gift unto all. Meaning, when I say sexuality in your ways, you're not sleeping with nobody because you want to manipulate them. You're not engaging in nobody's sacredness or sacred energy because you want something and you're going to take something from them. No. You are engaging in reciprocity. If I give my seed, can you give me your seed? Can we reciprocate on the nature of this seed that is given? When I contribute my children to this society, man or woman, what am I giving this world? My seed. And are they going to be like the fruit that falls from the tree and bear forth another tree? And if so, will that tree be able to nurture and provide the same amount of nutrients as a tree in which the apple and the fruit came from? What the fruit came from, not apple. Or will it be of something full of worms and rot that nobody can have? Nobody can partake of. The only thing that can partake of it is something that eats the decay. And that which eat decay is of death. The only animals you know that eat of the decay is the worm, the possums and the vultures. Those are the only ones that eat of the decay, and they are around when something is dying. So, are you contributing life wherever you go? How do you contribute life within your spirit? Everywhere you go, you are of honor and integrity. You are of the 9 fruits. You are generous, caring, loving. You are kind, considerate, non-judgmental. I can sit next to a woman with her ass and titties out and go, girl, you're blessed to be alive today. Ain't it a good day? I can sit next to a crackhead and go, Lord, you're blessed to be alive today. Ain't it a good day? Have I not bestowed delight upon them with my spirit? Have I not given them the whole of my fruit? Just like a person of the herb yielding seed can go and sit upon somebody and say, what's wrong? How are you feeling today? May you be blessed to feel great. May you feel good. May today be a great day. May anything and ailment in your body be healed. And the herb yielding seed be the healer. Just like the whole of my fruit will be the healer. You got to be a presenting healing energy in this world. We have to learn how to be healers across the board. Because when all is concentrating on healing another and healing thyself, what do you have? You have a healed and whole world. But understand that there are some people that heal in small ways. And there are some people that heal in more ways than one. If I bear forth my fruit skin and that does not do you well, then I can be more than that in your life. I can be your friend, your companion, your family. I have more to me than to provide. Why? Because I am a fruit. I will hydrate you in my charitable ways, empowering and speaking empowerment on you, giving you a wisdom that will always be of the everlasting waters, which is where the spirit of the breath comes from, that which sit in the womb and that which is all around the seed and his ball sack. Because that's knowledge, wisdom applied. How do I do knowledge and wisdom that is applied? Well, honey, do not act on your demonic nature just because they act on theirs. For you will have lowered yourself. And life is about evolving oneself, elevating oneself. Take it like this. You were lowered into your mother's womb. She did not birth you to lower yourself into the dirt. She birthed you to elevate yourself outside of yourself, outside of the clay, the dust, the molecules of which encase your being. This is how the herb, yielding seed, and the fruit tree work. When it is taken into the world, it becomes more than just that one season, that one crop. It becomes a medicine. It becomes a healing property. It becomes an energy to give energy to that which has consumed it. Thus it has life. What you are putting out must be consumed to make more life. What benefit a woman to walk around half naked and post Instagram pictures of her butt? What life are you giving? Some will say none, but I shall say singularity. There will be some that will look at you and they will take away a life that leadeth the road to death, to their flesh being gratified. But there are some that will look at you and take away a life leading to more life. But if you are only for a season, honey, no, you will only be for that season. Why limit yourself in your healthiness, my sister? Because yes, it is very, very profound to see a woman's body if you never thought you would see one again in your life. But how many people are like that? Very, very few. It is like being Stevie Wonder and waking up to see that ass and titties that you've been thinking. How many people go from being blind to seeing? Not few, not many. Therefore, you are like a herb yielding seed. What you do is only conducive to that moment in time, and it is only a short-term medication. You need to be either more by doing less of that and being more in another area of your life, Or you need to let it go altogether and understand that your crop is overdue and need to become that fruit bearing tree. Meaning, instead of being on Instagram showing your naked body, being on these shows showing your naked body, you need to start showing them how to get rid of body dysmorphia. It is better for you to be in the gym actually working out than to be up there hanging on the bar because your ass is big. Why don't you show us what you eat? Show us your dietary habits. Shit, show us how you smile and engage with people with your clothes on. What more is there to you? You can evolve from where you at to be better than what you were. What more is there to you? Let and share us you in your humanity full. Stop only engaging in us with your sacredness being on display. And start engaging with us with how you heal from traumas, how you heal, how you balance your income, your wages, and exercise and balance your diets. Why don't you share with us what your vision is for the future in your heart? Why don't you speak upon these things? You share with us more. Be like fruit and the herb yielding seed. You must evolve. Because there will come a winter. Even though the winter comes from us all, what can I do with you in your state of being? Nothing. I can either admire your beauty or I can keep it pushing. Do not engage in demonic behavior just because somebody else is engaging in demonic behavior. Why do I say it is demonic behavior? Because you aren't giving nobody but the idea of lust. Therefore, you are offering them milk and honey when they ask for water. Now, men who do not engage in demonic behavior, are you the herb yielding seed? Or are you going to evolve and be the fruit tree? Will you only engage in that which is conducive to helping you in your manhood and your ego and in your mind? By wanting to be with something that you consider arm candy, or wanting to engage in something that you consider only of your visual nature? Or will you evolve past that? What are you offering to the world when you only have sight and your sight is limited? What are you offering to the world if the only thing you can say about a woman is she fine? You are offering a short remedy when we need a full healer. You suppose if you're going to be a herb yielding seed, tell me what substance and value you have, and tell me what substance and value that has, that which you entertain. And if you cannot tell me of the substance and value that has, or you are telling me of a substance and value that is of a very rare event, then you are offering in form rarity, which is a 1%. What is the extra 99 that you have to offer? Other than, I got money and she got a fat ass. Where is the, I know how to budget? I know what routes to take to get to where I am in life. I had to do certain mental things. I had to undress and look at things within myself and my upbringing. I had to uproot certain things. Where is the message there? Provide me the wisdom, the keys. Provide me the fishing pole and teach me how to fish. Men will take this message and go, I know what type of woman that is. You need to go and sleep with it. That's not providing me how to fish by telling me to go over there and pollute the waters. How do you provide how to do something? You got an instruction guide, and you have to learn the instructions in order to teach the instructions. And the only way to learn the instruction in order to teach the instructions is to go out and experience that, to even invent the instructions. And you have to have the knowledge on what you are about to invent and what for the purpose of what is about to be invented, right? Multiplicity, that is a fruit. I got to know how to sit down and talk to a woman to know her mentality as to why she does these things. I have to know her speech patterns. I have to observe her. I have to learn her. I have to do these things, right? Not so that I can manipulate people and how to get with her and do all this and that, the third to her. But so I can go and tell men, hey, if you ever meet a woman that doesn't value herself and she says A, B, C, D, and she does this on top of it, now you know her mind and you know her ways. So therefore, in totality, you'll know her heart. But if you're sitting there and don't know her mind, but you know her ways, you're still far from knowing her heart. And the fruit has 3 functions within its flesh, its seed, and its meat. Therefore, you are still working on singularity when you need to work on multiplicity. It said, be fruitful and multiply. That means that you need to learn how to not judge a book by its cover. It would be nice if instead of men liking those videos of new women and their butts hanging out, y'all is in the comment section saying, honey, why are you doing this to yourself? Tell us what happened in your life that made you think you had to take this route. It would be more conducive to ask the men, son, why are you doing this to yourself? Tell us what happened to you in your life to where you had to take this route. And the reason why I say that is because you will learn that a lot of hypersexual over the sexualization comes from molestation. Men being boys being molested. You know how many boys are molested? How many boys were called faggots? How many boys was called names coming up in their life? And they was called all these nasty names and told that they was less than a man if they didn't look at ass and titties and this and that and third. How many of them was told that by other men? And they took the route of lust to prove their manhood and ended up falling into an addiction of death. Or how many of them girls was led astray by their mothers and fathers' actions, or was devalued and chose to devalue them, or were victims of sexual molestation and all types of things. Most people act out in sexuality and hypersexuality because they were traumatized in their youth or exposed to something they weren't supposed to be exposed to. Why do I know this? Because I speak to them before I say much about them. I got to get to know why you doing what you're doing. And why you feel that's a healing contribution to society. You getting money showing your ass, and you getting money watching porn. You giving your money with porn and OnlyFans. I got to know what's in your heart. Why you doing that? And I bet you that I will find hurt and wickedness sitting there. But in me peeling back your outer layer and knowing what is in your meat, I will know even more about why you seem that this is the right contribution. And I can get down to your seed and what happened during the cultivation of you. I will have more functions evolved. Why is this necessary? Because I should never look upon that which was granted the same breath and spirit as something worse or better than me. You are you and I am me. I need to learn the God in you. And the only way I get to know the God in you is if I stop looking at your outer layer. And I guarantee you, I got to go from the crown down. Now, I speak of the crown down because we're going to get to this in the future. In the future, it ain't going to matter if they're walking around naked or fully clothed. It's not going to matter what walk of life they come from. It's going to only matter why they got there in the first place. And in order for that to come to being the only matter, you're going to have to address the root of the problem. And the only way you get to know the root of somebody's problem is when you address that which lead their mind. And the only way to get to knowing that which lead their mind is to have a talk with them. To get to know the pages of that story. It's not saying that if you as a man or you as a woman see somebody and they're living a degraded life, that you're still supposed to go and be in love and be with them. It's not saying that. If you don't resonate with them in the mind, keep it pushing. How do you tell if you resonate with somebody in the mind? Well, if I see a woman and her ass is out, I don't resonate with where her mind is going. Keep it pushing. If I see a man and he's walking around strutting his money and flash, I don't resonate where his mind is. Keep it pushing. I'm not going to look at him and go, look at that man walking around flashing out and all his shit. I'm going to go over there and pimp this nigga out and get me $100 for my nails. Or I'm not going to go look at her with her ass out and booty shorts on. I'm going to go over there and fuck on her and this and that. You got to stop doing that. If they don't resonate with who you are and your mental or how you carry yourself, turn a blind eye. Look not upon another with hate in your heart. For it is when you look at somebody in disgust, you have gained wrath within your being. What good has anger ever did to this world? Show me where anger has helped people. Don't say war. War helps no human. War begots war. And then it continues on to be war. You lash out at somebody, then somebody lash out at you. Whether your movement be righteous or whether your movement be unrighteous, war will keep having war. This is why the court was set up. Why was the court set up? So we could get past war. Do do not act out on your rage. How many people walked in to see their lover cheating and killed both the lover and the adulterer and ended up in prison? What good was it? Some will say a crime of passion, and passion is the way of a demon. Demons passionately pursue something based off of impulsivity of their passions. When are we going to get the goodness? A self-control that is above all and beyond. Walking in and knowing you felt wrong, knowing it was dirty, but you got up and walked out. And you took pictures, got up and walked out and went to court. Like, got you some pay for it. And said, now you don't live in my place no more. And this person, you're not welcome around me for your actions. You disrespected my life by giving my energy and passing it on into another. I gave you a blessing of room, board, shelter, and love. And you took my blessing of room, board, and shelter, and love, and without my will, consent, and permission, you allowed somebody in on it that I did not approve of. So in the goodness of my ways, I'm going to let you live, but you and him must exit from my presence. When are we going to get to that? Because what I just did, a singular action. I spoke. But what I spoke was fruitful. Because them two will awaken to one thing. I could have been mad enough to kill them. I could have been mad enough to shame them and to throw their stuff out and to treat them like shit. But I didn't. My level of self-control is elevated to at least respecting the life within your vessel. Therefore, no crime was committed. You understand me? Commit no crime where you think there is a crime being committed. And when I say crime, I do not mean a crime based on the appeal of man's law. Because we know man's law change with that which man is in power. And when I say man, I mean male or female. Follow me now. If you don't understand me, go read my excerpt on Genesis 1. Everybody say, well, you go low, I'm going to go lower. No, the hell I ain't. I'm not going to bend as a mountain to the wind. Mulan. Even though the wind has its own premise on this earth, for the wind will blow seeds all around and help that which is herb yielding and that which is not to seed amongst all. The wind has a beautiful purpose. But I, as a great tree, a mountain, also have a beautiful purpose. For in every great tree and mountain, there is treasures unknown, minerals, and things that grow within the barrens of a mountain that hold the healing properties amongst the whole earth. So why should I be moved by the nature of something outside of myself? You got to choose to evolve from just being a herb yielder too. Even in the goodness of your stance, you got to choose to evolve from being a herb yielder too. There is no person that reaches a level of discernment that is not made to pass and share that which they have let reach in their level of discernment. Even a monk must share his sacred secrets amongst others that come into his apprenticeship. Even a guru must speak unto his people that which come to him. Even a prophetess must prophesy to the people that which come to her. For your flesh shall die, but your wisdoms and your knowledge shall be sustained. And if it is eternal sustained and not based off a societal construct and based off of if ever elevated most high, your crown above your head. Think about when you put on a crown. When you put on a crown, you take it into your hands up high over your head and you place it down onto your mind. Now think about how another tree comes into existence. That which is of the Most High flies down or climbs up onto you, onto your extensions, your branches, and takes from your extensions and branches and then goes elsewhere. Even a tree is crowned with birds. And birds do what? Fly. But what are they taking from you? Just as with the crown, what are they taking from you when they see your crown? Is it full of light? Is it shedding light? Is it of the day? Is it shiny? Is it real? What message does it carry? What message does it carry in your crown? In your mind? Or is it utilizing your will, your way? Or is it looking and observing to see all the ways and to see the similarities of the characteristics in each way? Is it well cultured? I see a girl out here on the street. I see a man out here on the street. What's their story? It is not up to me to believe their story. Because the only thing that I can believe is what I know to be truth. And the truth is, honey, you're naked. Honey, your pants is below your ass. That's the only truth that I can see. The only other truth that I can know is what they tell me and what they show me in fact and proof. Honey, you're naked. I know I'm naked. The men like it. Here, I got 60,000 likes. Honey, your jeans is below your ass. I know my jeans is below my ass. Society says this is the way of the thug. Here. This is where it originated. And then you can tell them if they do not know of the truth. Yes, honey, there's men like it. But do you like you? Yes, honey, that's where it originated. But do you really like you? Do you love yourself? That leads to more questions in the ways and actions and the choices of the person. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to have to look into them with a deeper sight. Nine times out of 10, I'm going to have to look at them with a deeper sight. But half of y'all don't want to do that type of work to look at people with a deeper sight. You just want to judge them on surface level. How you know a fruit is rotten in its core if all you looking at is the outer hull? You know how you know when a fruit is ripe? You know how you know when a fruit is ripe. I'm going to tell you how you know when a fruit is ripe. You got to take that fruit and you got to watch it fall from the tree. And you still don't know if it's good fit to be eaten. You got to pick that fruit up. And some people pick the fruit up and they squeeze it to feel the texture of it. I'm not saying you get a girl that's got her ass out and you start touching on her. I'm saying you get a girl and you ask her why she dressed like that. I'm not saying you see a man with flashy rings and things and a sagging and you say, oh, he a drug dealer. I'm asking that you ask him what his occupation is and why he dressed like that. Like, why he felt that way. And what you're going to learn is either that fruit is going to be, on the outside it's going to look healthy, but on the inside it's going to be full of worms and squishy. Or really hard. In some cases, really hard. And what you're going to learn is something hardened that person to where they are not ripened on the inside. They are unedible. They are not ready. And what do you do when you talk and conversate and you find out where a person's mindset at and you find out they just not ready? You leave them alone. Because life will prepare them. You don't have to. And how does life prepare unripened fruit? It lets it sit there until it ripens or until it dies and decays. Nothing comes and partakes of it that doesn't eat and partake of unripened fruit. And I'm going to tell you this. Most creatures, including humans, like ripened fruit. Even a demon will go toward the divine like a moth to a flame. But when that fruit is not attested for, nobody accounts for it, it decays and goes away. Just like them Instagram baddies. When you don't like their pages and they decay and go away. Just like these men out here, when they are not entertained with their sagging and the flashiness, that shit will decay and go away. For it is not a part of nothing but society. It is not a permanence of God's will of all creation. God created life, and He said that everything that you do in life will lead to your death. There will be things that will change and end. You will grow old, bitch. You will not be able to wear that shit without somebody saying, no, I don't want you around me, because we're around here, we of an age where we cover ourselves. You will be around here, oh no, I'm not of that generation, because we are of an age where we tuck and pull our pants up. It will play itself out. Let it. Or it will ripen. Now, what happens when you find a ripened fruit? You then what? You peel it back. And when you peel it back, What is on the inside? Is there worms in it? Just don't think because it was ripe and it ain't got some, it might look good and feel good on the outside, but when you open it up, there might be a worm in it. It still might not be good for the picking of eating. We know this because we know men and women who dress in modesty. We know men and women who present themselves in reputable ways in society. But on the inside, they are horrible people. What do you do when you open it up and you can't pick the worm out? You can't pick that unripened nasty part out. What you do with it? You discard it. And what happens to it when it's discarded? What happens to it when you go up to that girl in modesty and that man in modesty and they open their mouth and the most horrible shit come out of their minds and mouth? What do? You know how to walk away from that. You know how to say how unsexy that is. So you mean to tell me if it looks sexy, you'll go up and pick it, peel the skin off of it, and if it's ripe